These days, we have accounts with usernames and passwords for just about everything, from online banking to emails, social media, or logging onto a work device. But how safe are we keeping all the information on our accounts? For many people, there is only one thing standing between their sensitive information and the prying eyes of a cybercriminal. That is, their password. Have you ever wondered if your password is strong enough to keep your information private and secure? If you're wondering if it is, then chances are you need a refresher on password security. That's why in this video, we will look at how to build a strong password and keep it secure. Before we look at how to build a password, let's first look at 4 common mistakes people make when it comes to password security. Number 1, passwords are easily guessed. What do Dragon, Football, and Star Wars have in common? These were 3 of the most popular passwords in 2017. These passwords are way too easy for someone to guess. Try to avoid commonly used words as they can be easily identified by a dictionary attack. Mistake number 2, passwords that use personal information. If your dog's name is Ralph and your password is Ralph123, you should rethink that, as anyone may be able to find that personal information about you by searching social media. Mistake number 3, passwords that are too short. Did you know that a 6-character password that uses numbers, symbols, and letters can be cracked in 13 minutes? If you're following a short and simple method, it may be time to rethink that and replace it with a longer is stronger password rule. Mistake number 4, passwords that are recycled. One password to rule all your personal information and leave yourself open to identity theft. If you use one single password and it gets breached, then all your accounts are doomed. Remember to use a unique password for every account. Now that we know the common mistakes to avoid, let's look at 4 tips to build a strong password. Tip number 1, longer is stronger. Ensure that your password is at least 10 characters long, but if you want to be safe, 13 or more is a very secure password. Tip number 2, use a passphrase. You might be saying, how will I ever remember 13+ character passwords? Well, a passphrase may just help. A passphrase is a collection of 4 or more words, which can be song lyrics, a chapter in a book, a saying, or a quote. Here's an example of a strong password passphrase. Snickers chocolate bar equals my favorite sweet. Here's an example of a poor passphrase. She sells by the seashore. This one is bad and challenging to say, but bad because it's a common rhyme and may be added to a list of common passphrases that a criminal may try. Tip number 3, increase complexity. Once you have your passphrase, you can take it to the next level by adding in symbols, numbers, and capitals to increase the complexity. Try to avoid doing common substitutions, as those have been identified by criminals. Instead of doing substitutions, try adding in symbols, numbers, and capitals. Here's the example again. Snickers chocolate bar equals my favorite sweet, as a more complex one with symbols, numbers, and capitals. Tip number 4, use a trusted password manager. A password manager is an application that securely stores all of your passwords. To access your password manager, you only need to remember one single password. This is great because it allows people to have complex, unique passwords for all of their accounts without having to remember every single password. If you're not comfortable using a trusted password manager, you can always write down a clue that will help gauge your memory and allow you to remember your password. But always ensure that the clue is something only you would know. And remember, never place a sticky note on any surface that has your password. Now that we know the common password mistakes and 4 tips to build a strong password, let's look at how to keep our password secure. Have you ever had someone ask you for your password over the phone, a text, or in an email? One of the best ways for criminals to access our information is by first accessing our account password. Stay on the lookout for phishing attempts through email, text message, or your phone that try and trick you into divulging your password. Instead of clicking a link to the site to enter your password, look up the site organically on a search engine. Always keep your password a secret. Help desks, banking institutions, and social media organizations will never ask for your password. The only time you need to give it is if you are logging onto your account from a trusted website and the password has not yet been saved. And remember, always ensure that you're using a different password for each account. Use multi-factor authentication when possible. Multi-factor authentication is a security system that verifies a user's identity by requiring multiple credentials, such as a password, an answer to a security question, a fingerprint, eye scan, or even a text message sent to your phone. Multi-factor authentication is much more secure than just a password and is slowly replacing the single password login credential. When possible, implement multi-factor authentication. Now that you understand the importance of passwords and how to create a strong one, it is up to you to take this information and apply it to your work and your personal life to enhance your information security. By using password best practices, you can have peace of mind knowing your password will stay safe from the prying eyes of cyber criminals. And remember, longer is stronger.